case. There's no similarity to the way we have this is a clash of worldviews. I have a different worldview than they do.
I understand. And outside of that, I'm going to go ahead and leave it up for a call. Nori has a question. We'll go ahead and get that from her. Give me 1 second. Nori, I'm going to go ahead and unmute you if you want to go ahead.
Okay, I think I've got it. I'm still trying to get this whole thing down. Can you guys hear me? Hello?
Yes, I can hear you.
Certainly.
Okay. So I have a few, I guess, comments or questions that I just want to kind of see what the thought is here. So to my understanding from the last time that we had heard from a mayoral candidate, it was that the villages get to decide to send their people here, and we don't have a choice. Is there anything that we can do to put them back on a plane? Because where I'm from, you take care of your own. Like if my brother had a heroin addiction, I would lock him in a closet. You know, like we're just rednecks like that. So can we just send them back and be like, you need to take care of your own and stop just shipping us your people because you don't want to deal with it? Because I dealt with this in Arizona. In Tucson, they have a homeless camp. Like they have homeless camps everywhere. And they even have a homeless court. And these people are just allowed to just live how they are. Phoenix sent them down years ago on a Greyhound bus, like 20 years ago, and now they all just live there. And Tucson just embraces it. And that's the problem, is that with embracing all of this, we're causing a bigger issue. You know, so what about like, hey, no, you need to lock them in a closet or something up there and take care of them. Like, why don't you take care of your own? We can't afford to take care of anybody. I've had so many people run out in front of my car trying to get hit. Like they're, you know, trying to collect an insurance check or die. I'm not sure what their problem is. I had it happen 2 times in one day downtown. Like, this has got to stop.
I'm in complete agreement. This is what you're saying happens, and I've got this from very reliable. So there are problematic people, mostly men, who live in the villages, and they're very problematic. And the villages can't deal with them. They just can't. They don't have the facilities, so they give them a Ravn ticket, a one-way Ravn ticket, and say go to Anchorage. That's part of the problem. This is the thing. This homeless vagrancy. It's like, think of it as a great big loaf of bread, and everybody's a slice. Okay, not everyone comes from the same part of the bread. I guess maybe a bad on that.
At this point, there is a mute, and you can't hear him for a couple of seconds, but he comes back on.
Somehow you got muted.
Okay.
Yep, I just saw that. I tried to ask you to unmute there. I'm sorry about that, sir.
Okay, no worries. So anyways, I don't know how long I was muted. I think only a few seconds. But, the villages have to cooperate. They're incapable of dealing with these people. We have to admit that. I was told this anecdotally, and I'm a data-driven person, so take this for what it's worth. But Fairbanks solved their homeless problem several years ago. They shut down most of their facilities, and they just shipped everybody to Anchorage. That's a real problem, and I heard it's actually quite systemic. I'm not going to get into, because the argument is this. So I can go to a village, because we know pretty much where these people come from. We interview them. Once we get to treat them, we know where they're from. And I can use the big stick and say, okay, I've got more Ravn airline tickets than you. I'll just send them back. But that's not a long-term solution. That doesn't solve the problem. Over time, we have to have a long-term permanent solution, and that deals with treatment of these people and equal application of the law. If I went out and urinated, and I'm wearing a sport coat, say a businessman or woman or someone goes out and urinates in public, they get arrested, okay? Right. And we see where this is coming from. The homeless don't get that, because we've seen in the last couple of weeks just from Seattle, it's called the poverty defense. They're saying basically, if you're in poverty, we're not going to prosecute hardly any violations. That's not right. In principle, that's not right. We need to apply the law equally to everyone, and that includes these people that are vagrants. They can't. And the municipal code, Section 8, Section 9, they allow us some pretty good latitude. Do we need to improve that? Yeah. There's a really good model out there that gives us even more tools and that's St. Petersburg, Florida. I'm looking at going through what they have done in change of their municipal code to deal with this. And if you read through it, it's kind of interesting because, that new municipal code deals with that problem. So anyways, my focus has to be, the theme of Dan Sullivan, Mayor Sullivan came up with it. It was great. He came up with a theme here several years ago: live, work, play. Okay, that in politics you have to have an overarching goal or objective, and that's still it. That's a good one. We want to live here, we want to work here, and we want to play here. Guess what? A lot of that's being harmed by this homeless vagrancy issue that we have. We need a vibrant downtown. We can't have a downtown. No city survives without a vibrant downtown. It just becomes a collection of neighborhoods, and that's not what we want. That's not what I want. We need this problem started in the downtown and is now spreading all the way down to Diamond, if not further. It's going to get fixed in downtown, and we're going to spread this out. And we can do that if we have the political will. And I think I'm the one with the political will and the plan and the team to do that.
Well, so that's one of my other questions. Like, with SB 91, and I fought very, very hard with Mia Costello and Sarah Rasmussen to try and get that improved, because it was totally out of control with the crime. I've met Chief Dahl, I've been very politically active for years. And the problem is that, we were going to save all this money. Yet we're not locking up people who are touching kids, but we're keeping people in prison who were selling marijuana, where now there's one on every corner.
Yeah.
So, and that's fine. Whatever people want to do in their own home, I don't care. If you're not harming somebody else, it's not my problem. But where is the money that was supposed to be saved from SB 91? And there's a farm, I think, out in Palmer or something, that it was an old farm that could be turned into like a working correctional facility, where these people could actually work and do something so they feel valuable, and help them get off of these drugs and alcohol.
Yeah, there's Palmer. There was a court case earlier this year, and it was called Martin versus Boise, and it was a Ninth Circuit Court decision. And not to get into the weeds, but this actually is important. That court case prescribes how we deal with homeless. And as essentially, the overarching principle is that you cannot criminalize homelessness. You can only criminalize certain behaviors. Okay, the other thing is that if you're going to take someone into custody, because without taking these problematic people into custody, we're not going to get this problem solved. And that's why the 4 hotels, the 3 hotels, whatever we're down to now, they're not going to work. Because the methodologies they're using, this come and go as you will kind of thing, that doesn't work. It's never going to work. You got to detox people first, and we need a place to do it. So this court decision is what it said is you have to provide 4 walls, a roof, and heat. That's the absolute minimum you have to when you take someone into custody. Well, once Palmer Correctional Facility comes online, I'm being told it's going to come online. They're actually staffing for it. I talked to a union organizer, and he says, yeah, we're being asked to put out the applications for the job, and that was 3 months ago. So it is possible we have that footprint, or we will have that footprint, but the model has to be right. They can't be on the street anymore. They're dying on the street. It's not humane. It's very un-American to let somebody just die in the street, even if they want to be on the street at 10 below. Because it's a psychiatric problem. If you want to live on the street at 10 below or 20 below, that's what defines a psychiatric problem. They can't be there. And this is the most compassionate thing you can do for those people and the small business owners is to solve this problem. And that's what we've got to do. That's what I'm going to do. Period.